Don, I have minutes for you to sign when you get a chance to stop by at the township.
Okay, yeah, I was there paying taxes, but I'll be in again a little later this week.
Okay, thank you.
You're there tomorrow too?
Yeah.
I'll be in tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, shall we begin?
Sure.
Are we recording? Okay, thank you. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Mr. Zarzecki, can you please call roll?
All right, Ms. Chick,
Here, Janet Chick, Northfield Township, Washtenaw County, Michigan.
Mr. Dryer, if I believe, said he was going to be absent from this meeting. So Mr. Gustafson,
Present, Northfield Township, Washtenaw County, Michigan.
Mr. Quinto is not here yet.
He's absent with notice tonight also.
Okay. Ms. Afonte,
Here, Northfield Township, Michigan, Washtenaw County.
Mr. Roman,
Here, Northfield Township.
and Zarzecki here, Northfield Township, Washtenaw County, Michigan. We have a quorum.
Thank you. I make a motion we adopt the agenda.
Support.
Supported by Ms. Chick. Any questions on that? Seeing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Ms. Konecki will go to call to the public, please.
Sure, thanks, Chair. At this time, we will have a call to the public. If you wish to address the Planning Commission at this time, please use the raise hand function that you can find at the bottom of your screen and wait to be called on. When I call on you, please state your name and address and limit your comments to 3 minutes. Is there anyone wishing to address the Planning Commission at this time? Okay, Chair, I see no hands raised.
Okay, thank you. In that case, there's no clarifications from commissioners. Go to correspondence item 6. I don't believe there's any. There's no public hearings tonight. Reports from committees. We'll begin with Board of Trustees report. Ms. Chick.
The board met February 9th. The board accepted the resignation of manager Stephen Ames as February 9th. The handling of the administrative duties of the manager will be determined over the next couple of weeks. The personnel committee will be taking care of any personnel issues should they arise until a new manager is acquired. And I did want to let the Planning Commission know that there was a request at our last meeting about planning commissioners taking the redevelopment ready training. And there is no compensation for commissioners to take that training. They do recommend that all the commissioners, when they get a chance, take the training. It's about 8 hours long. I don't have any info. I think Mary, I don't know if Mary has that information on how to actually access the training portion of it, but if she does, that would be good information if somebody wants to do that. That's all I have.
Thank you. There's no ZBA report in Mr. Dwyer's absence. Staff report, Ms. Bird.
I have nothing to report. Thank you.
Planning consultant report, Ms. Konecki.
Thanks, Chair. Just a few things. The development packet is pretty close to being ready for review. I'll send it back to Mary and the rest of the building, planning, and zoning staff for one last look. And then we'll be looking to bring it back to the Planning Commission. As I mentioned, I believe at the outset of this process, the development packet is explicitly incorporated into the zoning ordinance. So amending the packet requires an amendment of the ordinance. So we'll be bringing that back for the Planning Commission to initiate that process. And working with the township engineer on exactly how we do that.
Okay, thank you. There's no Parks and Recreation report in the absence of Mr. Iaquinto, and Downtown Planning Group report, Ms. Infante.
Nothing, sir. Thank you. We have not met.
Okay, thank you. So we go to item 9A, unfinished business, case JPC 200012. Recommend to approve with conditions, or deny the request of JPC 200012 Shirley Dreffs, vacant Whitmore Lake Road, Whitmore Lake, Michigan. The applicant is requesting to rezone site property to GC General Commercial, parcel numbers B0218100022. With that, we'll go to Ms. Konecki.
Thank you, Chair. This one is pretty short. I submitted a memo to this effect, but this application was previously in front of the Planning Commission in last September. The applicant at that time, we noted that their parcel had actually been rezoned to AR without their knowledge when the township eliminated the highway commercial district. So given that finding, the applicant decided to come back to the zoning administrator and get an opinion on whether or not what they wanted to do on the site could proceed without a rezoning. And that is what the zoning administrator had confirmed for them on December 16th. So we recently received an email from the applicant stating that they wish to withdraw this application. So all there is for you to do tonight is to acknowledge that it's formally been withdrawn and remove it from the table for a proper record.
Thank you, Ms. Konecki. So I will make motion that the Planning Commission remove the item from the table and note that the applicant is formally withdrawn the request. So support. Supported by Ms. Infante. Any questions, comments on that motion? Seeing none, we must do a roll call vote. Mr. Zarzaki.
You're muted, John.
Yeah, excuse me, I was muted. Ms. Chick,
Yes.
Mr. Dreyer's absent with leave, or absent with notice. Mr. Gustafson,
Yes.
Mr. Quinto is also absent with notice. Ms. Infante,
Yes.
Mr. Roman,
Yes.
Zarzaki, yes. So the quorum says 5 passes.
Thank you. And we will go to item 10A, new business. Case JPC 210003. Recommend to approve with conditions, or deny the request of Angela Azar, 587 West Northfield Church Road, Ann Arbor. The applicant proposes to split a parcel into 3 lots measuring 5 acres, 5 acres, and 10 acres to accommodate 3 single-family dwellings. The proposed lot split requires the construction of a private road to provide required street frontage. Due to the parcel shape, the length of the private road will be longer than 1,000 feet. The applicant proposes to build a 20-foot wide Class B private road when the ordinance requires a Class A private road. The applicant received Zoning Board of Appeals approval on September 21st, 2020 from Class A to Class B to serve single-family homes only. The parcel is B0231100010 and is zoned AR Agricultural District. With that, we'll go to Ms. Konecki for her review.
Thanks, Chair. So in that description, that pretty much covers the broad overview of this site proposal. I will just note that the lot split is something that would have to be reviewed and approved following this approval. We're not looking at the lot split here tonight. So in terms of the private road requirements of the zoning ordinance, we've noted that most of them here are met. So the rendering shows the road will be centered in the right-of-way, as is the turnaround. We find this to be acceptable. Of course, fire department approval of that turnaround is required. The connection to the road will be a new connection, and so a permit is going to be required from Washtenaw County Road Commission to provide ingress and egress out of there. The applicant has signed the application acknowledging that this permit will need to be acquired, and we defer, issuance of that permit to WCRC. So in terms of drainage, that's something that we usually defer to the township engineer on. And no road traffic signs are going to be proposed within the site plan. If any future signs are implemented on this road, they need to conform to the MMUTCD. In terms of the right-of-way, ingress, egress, drainage, and installation and maintenance of public and private utilities. This is another item that the township engineer usually provides comments on. However, there's nothing specific on the site plan that we think indicates any difficulty in complying with this standard. We did conduct a natural features review on this site because there are both wetlands and woodland areas on the site that are going to be impacted. The natural features statement on sheet C100 notes that there are 5 separate wetlands, 3 of which are regulated on the site. One of them will be impacted by the private road because it runs kind of through the middle of the site and it's unavoidable. So to remove any part of the wetland, the applicant will need to acquire a joint permit application from Eagle, and that needs to be submitted to the township prior to approval, and the applicant has acknowledged this. The site also includes woodland and brushland in many parts of the site that will be undisturbed. The applicant has provided a full tree survey though, so we can see any impacts to existing trees. 3 trees are proposed for removal, 2 of which are landmark trees. So that total of 44 inches of DBH width are going to be removed. The tree mitigation requirements require 100% replacement in terms of DBH. To meet that, they're proposing 15 replacement trees that are a minimum of 3 inches in caliber, and a mix of 3 different species. They also have to comply with all of the Class B road standards that they are allowed to do, given the variance that they acquired. This is something, once again, that typically the fire department and township engineer review and comment on. So from a planning perspective at this time, we find the standards of the ordinance, the zoning ordinance to be met, and recommend approval of the private road subject to a couple of housekeeping conditions. So the applicant addresses any outstanding comments from engineering and fire. Outside agency permits, including those I mentioned from WCRC and Eagle, are acquired and copies submitted to the township prior to construction. The roadway maintenance agreement and other descriptions of the easement are forwarded to the township for review. And with that, I know that I don't see that Mr. McNamara is here with us tonight, Chair. So I've been trying to get a hold of him and see how you want to handle his portion.
Do you happen to have OHM's report that was dated February 9th, Ms. Konecki?
I do in front of me. So if you'd like me to present it, I can just move on to that.
Yeah, if you would, I think we can just highlight the issues that he may have at the end of his report.
Absolutely. Let me just pull it up and we'll move right on. Okay. I'm scrolling through the packet. I apologize. It's just taking a moment.
No problem. Okay.
So in the letter from OHM dated February 9th, 2021, the engineer notes that the applicant has acknowledged several items and has indicated they will be addressed following approval of the project by the township. So that includes approval from Consumers Energy, Eagle permits, and the CRC permit requirements. All copies of permit and permit applications need to be forwarded to the township office before the final construction plan approval could be issued. And those include, but are not limited to, the Northfield Township Fire Department approval for fire code compliance, the Northfield Township Building Department, Eagle Joint Permit for wetland applications, Washtenaw County Water Resources Commission for soil erosion and sedimentation control, and Washtenaw County Road Commission. So Marcus's letter did not find any flags, and though it does not seem to expressly recommend it for approval.
Thank you. And for the record, we do have site plan, approval by the fire department regarding the road. So that was dated February 2nd. So with that, before we ask any questions, Ms. Conackey, on this, we're just doing the road tonight. Is it required to go to the Board of Trustees, or is it just the Planning Commission?
The Planning Commission approves private road permits, so it does not need to go to the Township Board.
Okay, I was just asking that for the terms of the motion. So does anyone have any questions or comments regarding this road to Ms. Conackey?
No.
No? Mr. Gustafson?
This might be outside of the scope of our work here, but I'm willing to bet that these people are Star Wars fans, and that Yoda is a copyrighted property formerly owned by Lucasfilm and currently owned by the Disney Corporation. Is there any restriction against naming your road this way?
Not that I know
Or
of.
do we just wait for them to get sued by Disney?
I cannot speak to that copyright.
Okay. The other thing I would say, hold on. When this came before the ZBA, I know we voted on it. I don't remember if I voted yes or no. So I'm wondering if I should abstain from voting on this issue today as a member of the Planning Commission.
I don't think so.
I wouldn't see it as a problem, Mr. Gustafson, but I'll leave it to Ms. Conackey to comment on that.
I don't know the ZBA procedures off the top of my head, but my gut instinct is here. You've disclosed it and the other members are accepting of you going ahead and making a vote.
Okay.
And I think that's fine.
Okay.
Because, yeah.
Yeah, I see no conflict of interest, so yeah.
Nor do I.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with that. There's no conflict. So I don't have any other comments or questions. If anyone else does.
I don't.
No.
Okay. In that case, I'll make a motion to approve the private road subject to the conditions of the McKenna report dated February 9th and the items of OHM letter dated February 9th.
Support.
Supported by Ms. Chick. Any questions, comments on that motion? Seeing none, we'll do a roll call vote. Mr. Zarzecki?
Ms. Chick,
Yes.
Mr. Dryer is absent with notice. Mr. Gustafson,
Yes.
Mr. Quinto is absent with notice. Ms. Afonte,
Yes.
Mr. Roman,
Yes.
Zarzecki, yes. 5 approved.
Thank you, Mr. Zarzecki. So the next item is the approval of minutes from February 3rd. I make a motion we approve those minutes and dispense with reading.
Support.
Supported by Mr. Zarzecki. Is there any questions, comments, or corrections on those minutes? Seeing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed? None opposed. We'll go to final call the public. Ms. Conkey, please.
Thank you, Chair. At this time, we once again have an opportunity for the public to address the Planning Commission using the same procedures as before. So if you'd like to address the Planning Commission on items on or off the agenda at this time, please use the raise hand function and I will call on you to address the Planning Commission. Is there anyone wishing to address the Planning Commission at this time? Okay, Chair, I see no one wishing to be acknowledged.
Thank you. Go to comments from commissioners. We'll begin with Ms. Infante.
No, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Gustafson,
Nothing at this time.
Ms. Chick,
I have nothing tonight. Thank you.
Mr. Zarzaki,
I have nothing. Thank you.
and I don't either, other than one thing with Ms. Chick's comments regarding the redevelopment ready communities. If the township decides that, I don't know if it's been discussed at the board. I assume it hasn't overall. If we get a definite direction, such as a majority vote of the board to do something at that time, you notify us and we'll proceed from there, right?
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of confusion because it was on our work plan and the board decided not for the Planning Commission not to deal with it right now. So maybe I'll find
okay.
out. Okay.
Okay, and I'm assuming it'll be addressed this year, obviously sometime, but as soon as that happens, you'll let us know, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. Other than that, I have nothing else. So we will announce the next regular meeting of March 3rd, 2021, and I make motion to adjourn.
Support.
Supported by Ms. Chick. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Bye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Thank you. You
Thank
too.
you.
Thanks, Julie. Thanks, Mary.
Thanks.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, Cecilia. Bye, Larry. Bye, John.
Okay. Okay, Mary, we're good to end the meeting.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thanks. Have a good night.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.